Hi, welcome to Range and Country. I'm Lawrence.
And I'm Peter.
And we're here to bring you another review. And we've got the RTI P-3 with us today. It's a lovely little gun from another sort of, they're a Slovenian company, so another sort of European company similar to like AGT Air Max. And yeah, we're going to tell you all about it. Okay, let's jump straight into it then. Features. So let's start up at your end. What have we got with that butt plate?
Right, now on this butt plate we have, looking at it straight away, it doesn't look adjustable, but it is. Take that off. There's a little rubber pad there, and on the end here is 4 Allen key screws on keyways, and allows that butt plate to move down. So that's the furthest highest position at the minute. And you can adjust it down probably 3/4 of an inch, and then put the little rubber cover back on. Very simply.
Yeah. So that'll work together with the cheek piece, which is also adjustable.
And ambidextrous.
And ambidextrous,
well. Yes. There's one of the holes for it to go on this side.
Yeah.
Now with that cheek piece being ambidextrous, it also means that the magazine is ambidextrous, which I quite like.
Yeah. So you can put it in either from the right if you are right-hander, or you put it in from the left, and sort of depending on which side your cheek would be.
Definitely. So it just drops in and it'll swing all the way.
Mm.
Quite nice. So on this side we've got your hammer adjustment. So that will adjust your power of your rifle.
Yeah.
Little hand wheel there, little plus, little minus. So tweak it.
On our standard UK sub 12 versions, that's obviously comes factory at the highest power setting. And you can turn it downwards. We'll get into power in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can only turn it downwards from factory.
Yeah. Now also on this side we have trigger adjustment. Now this is quite refreshing because most guns have the trigger adjustment in here, don't they? You end up with 2 or 3 screws.
Yeah.
Or on a bullpup you tend to have to take something off.
You have to take the stock off, or take the trigger guard off, and something.
Or on a rain you have to take the whole gun apart.
Yeah.
To adjust your trigger.
And usually then there's 3 or 4 different screws, like you say, and this one does this thing, but this one does this thing. So you have to balance this and then that, and then this one.
Yeah. But this is quite refreshing. It's actually got a picture, which I like. So you've got a picture of, it is the sears, the trigger sears basically. So that's adjustment for the break point. So you're going to be your first or second stage adjustment on there. And you've got a picture of a spring on that one and a plus or minus symbols. So that's going to be your trigger weight. Simple and clever. And just little 1.5mm Allen keys in there. Fantastic.
Yeah, so it's just a case of those 2 screws. You balance them 2 together to get the right weight and trigger feel for what you want.
Yeah.
It's nice and easy.
Very easy. Yeah. Now, what else have we got here? We've got serial number, caliber, and model, basically there.
Yeah. We've got a very nice, I guess this comes more into handling, but I'll go through it now. You've got a nice rubberized pistol grip down here. It's nice and soft, and it's nice and ergonomic. I think it feels quite nice in my hand. Obviously, you're the one that shot it. You're the one that's done all the zeroing, so you've had more time with it, haven't you?
Mm. Yep, I certainly have. Crossbolt safety.
Yep. Nice and easy. Standard sort of tactical rifle style. So obviously you just push it across, and a right-handed person would push it
felt that?
off
just give that
with their trigger finger.
Just give that a feel. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
Ooh. I mean, I'd expect it to be, but yes, it is. So yeah, as I was saying, right-handed shooter will click it off, ready to go with the trigger finger, and then you have to use your other hand to put it on. We've also got a Picatinny rail up top. Now this is quite clever, isn't it? Because it's adjustable.
It is adjustable, and massively adjustable.
And then gets from 20 MOA to 150.
It's crazy.
Stupid
Absolutely
like that.
Crazy figures, yeah.
So standard bullpup rifles have, so the rail is here, and the barrel's here. The rail will be pointing downwards slightly at 20 MOA, which is the angle. If you want to know more about MOA, Google it, because I don't know enough about it to explain it. Basically, this is adjustable, so if you're shooting at longer distances, you can tilt it down so you can always zero at longer ranges. Basically.
Yeah. Now, what you do is slacken that screw off there, don't you? Which locks that on, and then just adjust this Allen key at the back, and that will raise it up or down slightly.
Yeah.
Very, very well thought out.
Yeah. Very clever little thing.
Yep.
We've got a shrouded barrel all the way down. Looks nice. Pretty standard on bullpups nowadays.
Yeah.
Just a shroud all the way. Nice little finishing off. And yeah, we've got a big bottle up front.
Well, you say big bottle. It says on the bottle there, it's stamped volume 0.35 litres, which you think that's a bigger bottle than 0.35, don't you?
Yeah.
350 ml.
That's so. Put that into comparison. Something like an FX Impact is a carbon bottle is 480 cc. Day State Delta Wolves are all 480s.
But this is alley bottle, so it probably has to be thicker.
Yeah.
So it probably reduces your internal volume.
Yeah, it's quite a big deal.
Yeah.
We don't know shot count, which tells you one thing.
Nobody quotes it, do they?
Yeah. So we've had 150 shots in zeroing and testing
And playing.
And we've still got plenty of air in it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, I'll probably say 250, 300 plus, something like that.
Nice cocking lever.
Yeah, it's on the wrong side.
Grip. That's a very interesting point, because I'd normally say, you're wrong, it wants to be on this side. But do you know what? I'm going to be completely honest here.
Oh.
I felt myself...
Oh, I didn't know about this.
No, you didn't. I kept it quiet until now. I felt myself taking my hand off the trigger, wanted to cock it from here, and I better not tell him that, because that'll really make him feel smug.
There you go. Case closed.
So I was I've been resting my hand there when I've been zeroing it, and I did go to
cock it with your right hand.
Yeah, but it's a lovely, lovely little lever.
It's quite heavy to pull, isn't it?
That's a very short stroke, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
You look at, I know the electronic rifles, they have a very short stroke. We touched on this.
Ghost versus
a few videos
Alpha,
ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we noticed that the Alpha was a shorter throw.
Yeah.
Could it do with a bit longer throw? Probably not. You get used to it.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's not that heavy. It's just a bit heavier than an Impact or a Ghost sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it feels nice and solid, and very confidence inspiring.
Definitely. One thing I don't like, and I'm going to be up front here,
oh dear,
and that is a little Picatinny rail just there. So if that's for your bipod, I mean that is
okay.
You know what's coming, don't you?
Yeah, it's too far back, isn't it?
It's well too far back. I mean, I've been shooting it now. I had the very front of the bottle rested, and it was all right. Still a bit floaty for me. If you've got a bipod there, I couldn't shoot that.
The slightest adjustment. So if you move, because of levers and pivots and physics and stuff, if your pivot is halfway in the middle, let me keep it in shot. If you're wobbling a little bit here and you move it a millimetre here at the butt plate in your shoulder, it's going to move a millimetre at the end. So it's going to be 10 yards out at 50 metres or whatever it is. So there's quite a big difference. Whereas if you have it most of the way forward, a 1 mil little judder from your heartbeat will make much smaller of a difference at the muzzle.
Yeah, so if you've got it rested there, quite large movements there only only produce smaller movements at the muzzle, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't like that.
You would have to get sort of extended rail, or you put a clamp around the bottle. There are ways around that.
Yeah.
I don't really know what. I suppose it's there so that you can then clamp an extended rail on, but they could have just given you like a couple screw holes to then just screw a extended rail on.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
So far, the only thing I don't like about the gun, though.
There you go.
But we're here to bring you the bits we don't like as much as the bits that we do like. So.
Yeah. Now, in terms of, so this is the P3. It's the
What's P stand for?
Profit.
Profit. Okay.
So the RTI Profit has been a model for quite a number of years now. This is the newest updated version of it. It's got a, I'll translate all the spiel on RTI's website. It's got a faster lock time in the firing valve, which means from the point of your brain telling your finger to pull the trigger and the pellet coming out the barrel, it's much faster.
Do you know how it does that?
No. Well, you're about to explain.
It uses a little bit of air out the barrel from when the gun's fired to help shut the valve.
Okay.
Which is inspired.
So as it opens, it then shuts itself.
Shuts itself, yeah.
There you go.
It reminds me a bit of that. I don't know if you've got one of those really useless boxes where you flick a switch and then it opens up and a little hand comes out and flicks it off. And like, I don't know why, it just reminds me of that. But they keep me entertained for hours, I tell you. It's
we push a little switch on top and the cat's paw just comes up and turns it off.
That's the one. That's it, yeah. Hours. I can play with them.
But anyway, in this instance, it's a good thing.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
Will make it a lot more accurate. That's a similar sort of thing to what electronic guns do, and that's part of why they are a lot easier to shoot and a lot more accurate.
I don't know if I've come across another manufacturer who actually does that, who actually says that they've got assisted closing of the valve.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So if that's an RTI original, then great.
There you go. Okay. Let's talk numbers. Let's go into handling. Okay then, jumping into handling. What do you think? You're the one who's shot it most. I've just been here as well.
Okay. So, Pulsar.
Daystate Pulsar.
Daystate Pulsar. Can you remember the old Pulsar?
The old, slightly older electronic gun.
Yeah.
It had 6 AA batteries in the stock. Yeah.
You remember though how you pick the gun and we go, "Oh, that's heavy."
It was like £9, similar sort of weight to this.
Yeah, and then you put it in your shoulder and go, "It's gone. Where's the weight gone? Who's took it away?" Very similar, because a lot of the weight is in that butt there, isn't it? You've got the firing valve, you've got all the trigger mechanism, you've got your plenum chamber. I'm sure people are going to pick me up and say I said it wrong.
They definitely will.
Yeah.
It's not a carbon bottle up front, which is a bit of a shame. Would have been, it'd have just been an extra 200 quid, wouldn't it? 150 quid. I think I quite like the balance of it. It's quite a solid rifle. It doesn't feel particularly heavy. It doesn't feel like a big lump in your hands. And it feels very comfortable in the shoulder, I would say.
Now, you just said a few minutes ago, haven't you, off camera, that you could enjoy this as a hunting rifle, couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not. It's well balanced and it's not floaty like other shorter rifles can be.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, I would have thought this was a bench rest rifle. That this is a range rifle.
When we were doing a research on it, RTI did say that it was designed for extreme accuracy. So yes, it probably is, but it's still a synthetic rifle that's very, very accurate. You could absolutely take it out hunting.
Yeah. That's pretty steady, actually.
Yeah. You've got the Picatinny rail up top there, so you could have night vision.
It is aiming at that spider in the top corner, anyway. So
brilliant.
Not much of game, is it?
And one thing we've got to mention in features is it is threaded for a silencer.
Okay.
So again,
half 20.
Yeah.
Standard.
Yeah, absolutely standard.
Yeah.
So that sort of harkens back. You could absolutely use it as a hunting rifle. Put a silencer on it, keep it quiet.
Yeah. Again, in handling, I know in features we talked about this little bit of pick rail there. In handling, if I was going to support it, I want it supported there.
Yeah.
I don't want it supported there.
Yeah. Quite often when you get these sort of rifles with pick rail there, it can be quite sharp. This is not sharp at all. This is very, very nice.
I'll tell you what you could put on there, whether it's designed for, the tripods with the pick rail on the top for to clamp it on. That would probably be ideal for that.
I think that'd be too far back still.
Do you think?
I wouldn't want to be trying to shoot it even like that. Yeah, that doesn't feel good.
That's not far off the balance point, isn't it? So if you were going to have it on a standalone tripod, full height,
like a Primos stick or something like that.
Yeah,
you could have it sat like that, and then
that wouldn't be too bad at all. I think
you could be ratting and have that supported. Yeah, that would actually be not a bad idea.
Yeah,
you would have to have Arca on there.
Okay,
I think quite often they're Arca rails, but you could soon get that to that, and then that'd be
I can see it in that instance. Yeah, quick barrel change as well on these.
Yeah.
You see the 2 screws are there for the barrel. Now, we haven't gone into this, and
it's not particularly relevant for sub 12.
No, it's not, but you can change the barrels out quite easy. We don't know about the availability of the barrels, but it's just something that can be done. But a lot of these can as well, can't they? A lot of these similar sort of rifles, the Impacts, the Ghost, the Alphas and the Deltas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in handling, that's probably about it, isn't it?
Yeah. It feels good. It's weighty, but it's heavy in the right places. I quite like the nice amount of weight that's at the back end. Let's see how it shoots.
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Okay, here we are, ready to shoot this RTI. We're going to give it a go. It's they talk a good game in all their spiel that we get, so let's put it to the test.
I know I've zeroed this a bit earlier, and I enjoyed it.
I had a quick go with it. Obviously, we mentioned on previous reviews that sort of tactical-looking rifles can be a bit floaty in the shoulder, and I didn't have enough time with it to sort of nail it down. So, pressure's on.
I found typical short rifle syndrome. Quite hard to keep it steady.
Yeah.
Plus, I've got the magnification wound up a little bit, I think, on this new Veyron scope. FFP, I have you know. Now, let's put this magazine in. Very clever magazine, I think. Simple, very simple, but effective.
Yeah.
By, what's the word? By ambidextrous. Yeah, bi-directional.
Wondering what you were going for then.
Yeah. So did I, to be honest. So it just slots in. It's just got a half moon cutout on it. We'll show a still of that. Half moon cutout, so you push it in and it swivels. So you can either have it at that attitude, vertical, or all the way around if you had the cheek piece on the other side.
It's a bit like a Walther Rain in that sense.
Simpler.
Easy to push in from either side.
Yeah, simpler, yeah. So, let's give this a go.
Pressure's on.
We are locked and loaded. Just want to get comfy.
Turn up any more on my side at all?
Well, I'll try.
I'll be out of shot at this rate.
Now, I took your school of zeroing earlier on, by the look of it.
You say that after you take a shot. That's my excuse.
Yeah.
It's my trick. Yeah, that would do.
Yeah, does it?
Yeah,
okay.
Cool, that'll do.
No, it is floaty in the shoulder. It does. I always struggle with these shorter guns, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think practice is the catchword.
Practice and making sure you're set up as stable as possible.
Oh, I wasn't ready for that shot.
Where did that?
Through one of those 3 holes.
I wasn't looking, so I missed it.
Yeah.
It just still looks like the same 3 holes.
It was, yeah.
A little bit higher.
It was. That's me struggling to keep the gun steady. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to select a different aim point.
What, you're going to actually start aiming at the middle now?
No, I aimed at the number 4. Let's just see if it will. Just put my fist at the back behind the under the bulky part of the rifle. That's a lot steadier. Can you remember how many pellets I put in this magazine?
Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You had 7, I think. That's better. Oh,
That's
there you
it.
go. Guess you're at 8.
Do you know, I'm just going to try a couple more. Which is, we don't normally do this. Let's put another 4 in. Now I've got a different, I'm a lot steadier.
What we normally do, ladies and gentlemen, is shoot
Just
it
make
again.
excuses.
Or do that.
Yeah, but this time, it's surprisingly accurate, this is.
The gun will do it.
It really is surprisingly accurate.
We've had a couple through the same hole.
It's ideally suited to bench rest, though. It's to try and keep it steady and see what else it can do. Oh, why did I bother? Could get quite boring.
Being so accurate.
If I was a better shooter.
Yeah.
Pressure gets to you, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
All the 6 people watching, I don't want to...
No, I think the last one we had 7 or 8.
Did we really?
Yeah.
Wow. Viewership is going up. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all, is there? Was that through the actual number 4?
Yeah.
Because that's what I was aiming at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're aiming at that, what that means is it's just left and right.
What do you mean?
It's all horizontal.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going all over the place.
No.
So it's not that the gun's inaccurate. In fact, the gun
me
is
holding it
hyper
steady.
accurate.
Yeah.
It's just.
I was really concentrating on the trigger brake on that last shot.
Yeah.
Because it is. I mean, it's quite heavy to cock.
Mm.
Oh. Let's take the magazine now. Let's just do a dry fire. That break point is quite heavy. It's very, very crisp. It's very, very nice, but it is quite heavy.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned it in a previous video, but this is just straight from factory.
Yeah,
we don't
straight out the box.
Yeah, we don't adjust them or anything.
When you compare that to something like a Red Wolf or an Alpha Wolf trigger, the electronic, it's just night and day. You know, the weight of it.
It's a lot heavier. Yeah,
It is a lot heavier. And I'm surprised I've shot that accurately with such a heavy trigger, to be honest.
A heavy trigger on a short rifle.
Yeah, it's the worst of both worlds, isn't it?
Yeah. But, I mean, clearly they've designed it to be like that.
Yeah.
And it absolutely does the business.
Now, you can adjust the sears on the back here. So whether that will affect the weight, we don't go into trigger adjustment, do we?
No.
I mean, if we did, they would all certainly be in probably a bit better than I've just shot them. But for me, I'm well happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One point that I'll just preempt the comments going, oh, you didn't hold it, you should have held it like this, and you should have shot better than that. If we'd have,
I get told that all the time.
if we'd have blocked it in the Black & Decker and every shot would have been through the same hole, we'd have then been slated for it not being an actual human.
Yeah.
So if we were to just lock it in place, this rifle would do through exactly the same hole. No doubt of that. But this is what...
With a bit more practice and adjusting that trigger, that would be boring for me. that would. I mean, they advertise it as I think a bench rest rifle, don't they?
Yeah.
It is quite weighty, so I can see that you would want it supported. You wouldn't want to be. I personally wouldn't want to be out hunting with that. That would soon get heavy for me. But on a bench, that is. We're 25 yards here, aren't we? That was Air Arms field pellets, 8.44s, which are our go-to pellet.
Okay,
it's nice.
Let's change it around. Let's go into the summary. So to summarise then, we've got the RTI P-3. It shoots very well. Well, it shoots better than we can ever shoot it. It feels very good. Price-wise, we haven't mentioned price-wise. So
no, we haven't.
This competes
It's one thing we often get asked about, isn't it? And
yeah.
we are reluctant to give prices because that price is current today. It might not be current 2 years' time. If somebody's watching this in 2 years, they go, well, I can't find one for that price.
Yeah.
So that's why we tend not to give a price. But
yeah. So it competes with, it's in the same ballpark as an AGT Vixen. It's a bit cheaper than a Brocock Ghost.
It's just sub £1,300, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not a cheap rifle, but it feels the quality, it feels the price that
it does. It's very, very nicely engineered.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very nice. Now, we've teamed this one up. We have a new scope in our arsenal.
New scope range.
Well, no, we have a new scope in our arsenal of scopes in our studio here.
Yep.
And we've got a Veyron, a Vector Optics Veyron, haven't we?
Yep.
And it's an FFP.
Yeah, it's a 6-24 by 44, is it? Something like that?
Yeah.
First focal plane.
Yeah. I know I said earlier, I was zeroing it, I said, I don't like these crosshairs. I said, they're too fine. You says, well, wind the magnification up.
Don't be stupid, just zoom it in.
And I did. And it's like, oh yeah. It's because we're not used to FFP. I'm not used to FFP.
Yeah.
So
FFP, quick rundown for those that don't realise. As you zoom in, the crosshairs get bigger.
First focal plane, isn't
it?
FFP.
Yeah. Again, if you want to get more into the technical side, Google it because it's more than we have time for.
And we are doing a little trial on the Vector Optics. I think one of our next videos is going to be touching on them a little bit more and probably comparing them to some of the other ranges, sort of Hawk and MTC that's available. But we're going off the subject, aren't we? We're going off the P3, the RTI. Sorry.
What a cracking rifle.
I agree. Yeah, for that price point, accuracy, you have to shoot it to believe it, to be honest, I think. Yeah. It was certainly far, far better than I ever am.
Yeah.
Standard Air Arms pellet, straight out the box, put a scope on the top, fill the mag up with Air Arms pellets.
And it was the same.
Yeah. Yeah. But can't knock it.
Can't say much more than that.
No. No tweaking needed. And once you do start tweaking and getting it set as you really want it, then it's going to be a bit boring, to be honest, I think. Certainly 25 yards. You're going to need a longer distance, smaller targets.
If accuracy is what you want, though.
Yeah. You could certainly shoot matchstick heads.
Oh, yeah.
You could shoot daisies at 25, 30 yards all day long. It's probably more fun than getting a lawnmower out, to be honest. Depending on how big your garden is.
Yeah.
It might take a while.
A lot of pellets.
Yeah, it would. But fantastic rifle. Loved it.
There you go.
Really did.
Well, thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
Please like and subscribe, whichever...
Down in this corner, I believe.
Whichever corner it is. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.